When GraceWorks started, it was a humble beginning, but it was wonderful.
We had a very small office. It was maybe 6 by 6 with a little offshoot, which was maybe 3 feet wide, 4 feet deep.
It was in the basement of an old, what used to be a school long ago. It was on Columbia Avenue near the Carter House, and it housed the Boys and Girls Club at that point in time. You know, it was such a blessing, and I think the community needed it and knew the need for it, so they pitched in, and we just continued to grow.
At the time I went to work, the store was over on Beasley Drive. It was a 2-window storefront, very little space.
And it needed to be a universal. It didn't need to be a Methodist thing or a Baptist thing or a Catholic thing or a government thing. It needed to be a God thing.
And as we were talking about how will we fund it, he took a piece of paper and tore it up into pieces and handed everybody a piece of paper and said, write down how much you'll give. And then he collected it and sat there and totaled it up, and we had a commitment of, I think it was $47,000 from the group that was there that night.
John Gatlin was a wonderful man who came into the Boys and Girls Club down in the basement one day and saw Trish Ezell, the president of Churchwomen, and he said, I'm retiring, I'm a pilot, I'm retiring in 2 months, I want to know what I can do. And Trish said, well, we've got a clothes closet and food pantry, and John said, well, I don't do clothes. And 2 months later he came back and he said, I'm ready. And he did it for more than 12 years until he died in 2007, and the current food pantry is named after him.
The nucleus of the Christmas program for us was Christmas shouldn't hurt. She had left an abusive relationship in Kentucky. She brought her son to Franklin. They were making ends meet, but now it was Christmas, and she didn't know how she was going to provide the things of Christmas. For her to come in and have the manger be there and be able to meet that very specific need. And then we thought, well, what happens to her the rest of the year? You know, who is there for her in January and March and back to school and all the other times with whatever it is she's dealing with? So we knew we needed something in the county that could meet her need wherever she was.
One day a little girl came into the store, ran into the store, and she walked up to the cashier and handed her a piece of paper and trotted back out to the car where her mother was. And it was such a thrill to open that letter and have the lady say that her husband had gotten a job and they had been invited to a get-together for the holidays. And if it hadn't been for GraceWorks, she wouldn't have been able to have gone because she didn't feel like she had the right clothes.
I think the needs will always be the same. I think the needs will be food, shelter, clothing, a little bit of love, a little bit of caring, knowing that somebody cares how much you hurt and how much you don't have, and help provide some of each.
What the Gospels are about is compassion. And when you've got people focusing on compassion, then nothing else really matters and everybody can come together on that.
I'm so proud of everybody who pitched in and helped. I'm just proud of everyone who ever had a single hour volunteering, whether it was with the clothing or the food or interviewing clients, because they were all here because they wanted to make it better.
And it's gone far beyond anything we ever envisioned at the time.
The work that we do helps so many people that need help, food, clothes. It's just such a wonderful place to volunteer because it's so helpful to our people in Williamson County.
The name GraceWorks, it's such a marvelous name, GraceWorks, because grace works. The only thing that stops Grace's ability to work is our willingness to give. give our time, to give our resources. Grace is abundant. It's up to us.